everybody, today I'm going to talk about my thoughts on Fire in a Hole closing at Star City. Now if you're new here, consider to subscribe and ring the bell. So I made a video like this around a year ago, and to be honest, a lot of this has changed. So it's crazy because I knew this was coming eventually because I've complained in these past few years that Fire in a Hole is in dire need of updating. Star City recently announced that they will be closing Fire in a Hole after the 2023 season. So I kind of wanted to talk about that announcement and my thoughts on the future of this ride. So yeah, let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is the announcement itself. So the thing that I think confirms what I'm thinking is that in their statement that they made, they said that the original Fire in a Hole will be closing down next year. And honestly, that pretty much confirmed what I already thought the new attraction would be, and it's gonna be a new Fire in a Hole, like pretty much guaranteed. I'm glad there's gonna be a new Fire in a Hole because I'm glad that they're keeping that name for future generations to come, because this ride has been around for so long, I think 50 years. And the fact that it's been around for so long and they're hopefully continuing the name with it is a good sign for this new ride. I've grown up with Fire in a Hole all my life too, and it's just kind of sad that as I've gotten older, I realized how much it's not been aging well. Because I actually went there at the end of December of last year actually, and it was very outdated. And I actually recorded audio of my last ride on it because I thought it would be the last ride on it. Looking back at it now, it's kind of weird that I did that because I didn't think in my mind, wouldn't Star City announce that they will be closing it? They wouldn't just close it out of nowhere. So there is one more year that's going to be Fire in the Hole, the original. But I kind of want to talk about my thoughts on this new ride, even though I already have kind of done that in the Fire in the Hole prediction video. But I kind of wanted to keep it a little bit more updated. So the first thing I want to talk about is what type of coaster I want it to be. I've heard people say that it's going to be like an RMC, big roller coaster. And honestly, I feel like for this type of ride, I want it to be a family coaster in some regard to the original Fire in the Hole. I do not want it to be a full-fledged roller coaster. And this is probably one of the few times that I will say that. I just feel like it would not fit well if it was a full-fledged roller coaster. And some people say that the original one already is, but it's not nearly as thrilling as Wildfire or something like that. And I want it to not be too intense because I want everyone in the family to enjoy this new ride. And I think Star City is gonna do that. I do not want them to do a full-fledged roller coaster because it just wouldn't fit well in that indoor setting. I feel like indoor coasters like Fire in a Hole are not as common as they used to be, but even in the Midwest they're not that common. So keep it family coaster, keep it the same concept as the original Fire in a Hole, because if it doesn't, only a specific audience of people will be able to ride the new Fire in a Hole, and I don't want that. Another thing I want is real animatronics. Now, I have mentioned in some of the previous videos that I think the animatronics are one of the reasons why it's aged so bad. When you compare stuff to Disney, those animatronics that Disney makes is really good, but even if it's not as good as Disney's Star City's animatronics for new Fire in a Hole, they can be more convincing than what they are right now in this original one, because I feel like Star City has grown a lot since then, and they've grown a lot of budget in the park. I just feel like they could really have better animatronics than what we have currently, and I don't want to compare it to Disney with that, but honestly, if you could see what Disney is doing, I feel like Star City is going to try to kind of take notes of that, because honestly, these animatronics, half of them aren't even animatronics, they don't even move. Now it's also just for animatronics mostly across the board at Star City, especially Flooded Mine. I think that will be the one that will be removed next after Fire in the Hole. Because, to be honest, I think the Flooded Mine has actually aged worse than Fire in the Hole, but I still think Fire in the Hole doesn't age well either. What I want them to do is keep real animatronics. I do not want all this screen bullcrap, for the most part. Now, I feel like I am kind of an original type person to where I want practical effects and stuff like that. It would be more authentic if they didn't do many screens on this new Fire in the Hole because it's set in the 1880s. And I want them to have physical animatronics. I do not want them to pretty much have any screens to simulate something because it just wouldn't feel, it would feel out of place. And hopefully they don't do that because Like, one thing I actually do like about the original Fire in the Hole is that everything is actually there. Like, I want it to be real physical props. And I think that's what they will do, because they're probably going to take a lot of notes from the original Fire in the Hole and maybe make a new concept out of it. But there is one thing that I'm not sure what they will do or not, and it's that the ball nobblers might not come back. Since people get offended by everything now, like, I feel like ball nobblers might not even be in the new Fire in the Hole, which I want them to be in the new Fire in the Hole, because it just would feel like we're changing history if we don't have the ball nobblers in there. I'm not sure if I want them to do the same plot, but like with like new scenes, because I think it's called Mamoros with the ball nobblers that burn down the town. Maybe we could kind of extend on that idea a little bit, even though I want them to do some new scenes with it. Don't redo the scenes. Do not do the same scenes. You can maybe have one of the same scenes in the new Fire in the Hole, but don't recreate it. I want something to where it kind of has the same plot, but expand on it. Do more scenes, the people trying to put out the fire communicating with the ball nobblers, which I feel like we didn't really have that in the original Fire in the Hole, of the people trying to put out the fire, the ball nobblers like in a scene together. It feels like we didn't have that. I don't think we do currently. But that's one thing that I actually do want, is kind of like the firefighters, you could say, trying to kind of make a compromise with these ball nobblers. Maybe that would be a good scene actually, because it doesn't really show that. But I want real animatronics. I do not want screens for the majority of the time. I just feel like it would be very out of place if that actually happened. I'm glad that they're doing it indoor, pretty much confirmed, because it just would feel weird if they did it outside. Maybe they could do part of the ride outside, but it just feels like dark rides like Fire in the Hole currently aren't as common anymore. So yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry this is a little bit of a shorter video, but I just wanted to talk about my thoughts on Fire in the Hole. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.